Welcome back to another Bitcoin video. Now that we have broken above this critical wedge formation that was forming for around 3 months, this critical one here in yellow, you can see we broke to the upside, we saw a massive move to the upside, and we actually reached our target now. The wedge's target is reached. So we can take a target, and this is how we measure targets from wedges, right? We measure from the first retest of the top of the wedge to the first retest of the bottom of the wedge, and we apply it to the point of breakout, and we can see that that actually targeted right where we rejected from, which means we were absolutely perfect in our target there the other day. As you'll remember, 2 days ago, we made a video saying the target for this wedge was around 31,400, and we reached that exact point. So perfect target there. Congratulations to those who listened on that. But the target has been reached now, and so we're kind of, now we're in a bit of a situation which we need to understand, well, is it going to go higher or is it stopped there? Well, this is an area of resistance now for Bitcoin. All this previous area, all of this stuff that we pushed through, apologies for the messy charts. There are going to be messy charts today. There's a lot going on. All this area here that we pushed through after the breakout of the wedge was area of which we covered over here. We chopped around there a bunch. That's all tested area. That's all tested regions. There's not really much build up of buying or selling orders in that region. And so it's pretty easy to break through that. But now we're in a region in which we haven't really been, let me remove all this stuff here. We haven't really been up to this region at 31.4K ever, basically, since, 2022, June 2022, over a year ago. So there's heaps of fresh selling orders in this place. There's heaps of fresh buying orders in this place, fresh orders in general in this place that haven't really been touched and that they've had time to compile, time to build up. And so it does make sense that we rejected from that place at around 31.4K. And not only does it make sense from a wedge perspective, but it makes sense from a logical perspective. If we haven't been in that region for a long period of time, and that is the nearest resistance, if we're looking at the weekly chart, it certainly is, right? That red box is where we tested the nearest resistance, then of course we're going to reject from that initially. Now, it's just a question of, will that be a short-lived rejection or will it be a long-lived rejection? And that's a very hard question to answer. But we can give you some context regarding the situation, and that's going to help you navigate the market in the next few days as we come up to this critical decision as to whether we'll break through or not. Now, I believe, of course, that we will break through. I'm just not sure as to when it will happen. I think that it's highly likely that we do see some sort of rejection from here, actual proper rejection and consolidation before a breakthrough. And by actual, I don't mean one that lasts for 3 months. I mean one that lasts for a few days, goes down a little bit, retraces to a critical level such as 28.6K, then comes up again. That would be a logical correction, in my opinion, and it would consist of a new formation of an uptrend. Because look, in order to have an uptrend, right, what you need basically in order for an uptrend to be formed is so for example, this is what we did. We formed a wedge over here, we broke to the upside, and we've gone straight upwards. We haven't formed a new higher low yet. That's needed for an uptrend. If we form that new higher low and then come upwards and break even further above both the wedge and the recent high, that's when an uptrend is formed. So it would make sense to me, and it makes sense in general from a technical analysis perspective, for a small retracement down to something like 29K, down to something like 28.6K potentially, and then a move to the upside again. But it's not necessarily guaranteed to happen. I mean, Bitcoin has seen breakouts like this in the past, and, for example, we saw one of it over here where I was circling, and it had the strength to just break right through resistance. That green area there was resistance. We just went right through it. Now, we did test it before, but we went right through it, and we could very well do that again. It just doesn't seem like the most likely thing. If we're looking at it from a technical analysis perspective, it would make sense to reject for a brief period of time, correct downwards, form a higher low, and then come upwards and break it again. Now, it's important that in the potential rejection we will be seeing, again, I say potential because it's not certain, in the potential rejection we'll be seeing, it doesn't extend more for 7 days. And the reason being is because we're looking for a strong monthly candle close. And guys, if you've watched any of my videos over the last few days, or weeks actually, or months, to be honest with you, a couple of months, it's been very prevalent in all of my videos as to what the importance of the monthly chart is. The monthly chart has been basically the bad news for Bitcoin as of the last month or two. We formed a bearish doji candle at a red resistance line here, as well as a bearish engulfing candle following that. Now we've just come upwards here on this current monthly candle, which is still pending, hasn't closed yet. We are looking good, but we do need to be seeing an absolute confirmation of this monthly chart looking good and an uptrend continuing on the monthly chart. And the way we would see that is closing the monthly candle above 29.3K. So it is very important that Bitcoin gets a monthly candle close above 29.3K. If we do not, it becomes actually quite likely that this entire move was a fake out. Again, I'll say it one more time, I'll just repeat myself here. It's very important that Bitcoin gets a monthly candle close above 29.3K, or at the minimum, and I said this before, I'll say it again, at the minimum, above 27.2K. Because if we get above 27.2K, we're invalidating the bearishness of that bearish engulfing candle. That is the minimum, 27.2K. Preferably we want to see 29.3. And that's really the main targets we're looking at. Even after this wedge breakout, even all the stuff that's happened here, we knew that wedge was going to break to the upside. Look, there was a scare here, there was a fake out, but overall, I mean, throughout the entire duration of this wedge, I was saying it's going to break to the upside, guys. I think it's going to break to the upside. It's a descending wedge, of course it is. We had major support on the weekly chart as per that green box and bull market support band, 200-week SMA. It was pretty likely to break to the upside. It's no surprise that it did. The only thing we were rarely looking at with any degree of concern is the monthly chart. Again, we need to be seeing a monthly candle close above a minimum of 27.2 and 29.3 if we are looking for the best case scenario. That is still the main area in which I have my eyes on Bitcoin. Now, what is the main area to the downside? The main area to the downside in terms of bearish invalidation for this bullish trend is still 24.3K, which is the bottom of this green box. If we flip over the weekly chart, we can see the bottom of the green box is very important because not only is it the bottom of the wedge, the support line for the wedge, it's also where the bull market support band rests, it's where the 200-week SMA rests, it's where the center line of the Gaussian channel rests, and it's where that horizontal resistance box rests, which is a critical level as per the volume profile. If you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see volume start to build up past that green box. So 24.3K is still the level we are watching to the downside. It hasn't changed. If you are a bear, you should be hoping for that level to break. If you are a bull, you should be hoping for that level to hold. That is still the critical level. And as to the upside, as I said, the monthly chart is where the critical levels rest in the upside. If we're looking at a price level, what we really want to be seeing from a bullish perspective is actually a break above this red box. And the first step into doing that would be breaking above 31.4 and ultimately breaking above something like 33.1 or 33 flat, which is the next major resistance above that. And then we get back into the bull market territory. And what I mean by that is we don't get back into a bull market, but we get back into the territory in which we were in when we were in a bull market, in the same way that if we drop down here, we're not back in a bear market, we're back in the territory we were in when we were in a bear market. I hope that makes sense. Rewind there and watch it again if you didn't catch that, but it does make perfect sense from a linguistic perspective. Okay, in order to be back in a bull market, we need to be seeing the requirements for a Bitcoin bull market, which is after the halving and 4-year cycle theory progresses. In order to be seeing a bear market, we need to be seeing after the top of a bull market and the 4-year cycle progresses, or we need to be seeing a breakdown of the 15.4K lows, in which case the 4-year cycle would be invalidated and we would be back in a fresh bear market. But as of right now, the my community, Wolves of Crypto community, does not seem overly bearish. They actually lean bullish. I put a poll here, and I said, what comes first for Bitcoin, 40K or 20K? And 60% of you said 40K would come first, and so that probably means 60% of you are bullish on Bitcoin, and 40% said 20K would come first. That probably means that 40% are bearish on Bitcoin, given the fact that if we drop below 24.3K, we're not looking good at all. Now, obviously, there's a certain amount of people that would believe that we'd go to 20K before going upwards again and not necessarily put in new lows, but that would be a minority within that 40% fraction there. If we're looking just 2 weeks ago, we did the same poll, and you can see, actually 3 weeks ago now, that it was about 50-50. So about 10% more people have flipped to the bullish side and 10% less are bearish now that we've seen this wedge breakout. But ultimately, there's not a massive amount to update, which is interesting because we have seen dramatic price movements. But ultimately, it's all just business as usual, guys. We've broken above the wedge. We've reached our target for the wedge. The target has been reached. Perfect target there, 31.4K. We've rejected briefly from that target. We might go downwards more and correct even further. It's very hard to get a good perspective of what the short-term chart says right now. Short-term chart's a bit messy, unfortunately. But, realistically, we could be going downwards further to something like 29, 28.6 before a reversal back to, or a continuation to the upside. That's a possibility. We also could just break to the upside. But the ultimate level we need to be watching is, of course, the local high that we put in here at 31.4 and watching whether that breaks or not. If it does break, it's very likely to go higher rather than stopping for a correction, which is possible. But usually I should say, Bitcoin needs a breath of fresh air, as does every chart after making a dramatic move to the upside. But good stuff so far. And, again, ultimately, it's just the monthly chart we're watching. The monthly chart's the key concern, the key area we need to be watching. And getting that close above the red line on the monthly chart will probably facilitate a new region for buying if someone hasn't already bought yet. Now, again, I do believe you've had many opportunities to buy, but if you haven't bought yet, that monthly candle close there above 29.3 would probably be a good place to get a conservative bag. But we'll have to analyze that when it actually comes, because obviously prices and charts could change. So that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Check out the Bitget exchange, 5 times lower fees than Binance. Binance is in trouble, Coinbase is in trouble, they're all under investigation, etc. And they've had recent controversies around them. It's time to get on a good exchange like Bitget, which is not involved in all this controversy, and your funds will be secure on the exchange. We've got a protection fund on Bitget, we've got reserves information released, 15% trading fee discount for signing up using my referral link as well, and exclusive rewards for doing that as well. So sign up using my referral link, get access to that exchange. We've also got Crypto Academy courses, guys. If you want to learn how to trade, the Become a Trader 10-unit course is good for you. It's in the name, literally, Become a Trader. You will become a trader if you do this course and if you take in knowledge effectively. You can get a course breakdown on the website. You can email us here on the website email address, which essentially we will respond to you quite promptly, and we'll send you back a payment pamphlet, payment information, all that kind of stuff, as well as a video walkthrough of what the course actually looks like. On top of this, guys, you can check out the VIP group. VIP group is for altcoin traders. If you want to make money on altcoins trading, you might need some guidance, and the guidance there is offered in the VIP group. You can check out our trading results, our trading history for the VIP group. In the description below, there's a link to a Telegram group, which gives you all the information about the course as well as the results, about the group, as well as the results and the prices, etc. So check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.